How's it going, guys? A man who spent 4 days planning this video as a full-time job bag for possibly my most ambitious one yet. I don't think I've ever in my life put so much time and effort into one video as I have with this one. With that said, if I ever have another video that the algorithm's gonna, pick up and boost to everyone, it better be this one. It better be this one, because this list was stupidly difficult to rank. Something as subjective as music is always difficult to rank with how quickly your opinion can shift on it, Me in particular, I'm pretty sure this list is already slightly outdated, but I can't really figure out exactly where, and I'm not spending another 4 days recreating the whole list again, only to change my mind once more. This list is like 90 to 95% correct, so I'm happy with that. That'll do it for me. Obviously, I don't have time to analyse every song here, so all I'm going to add at the start here is, for the most part, I rank these songs on sound, like how much I enjoy listening to them. A lot of songs I like have, meaningful lyrics to add to the song. Some songs have meaningful lyrics but are really boring to listen to, and some of these songs I don't even know all the lyrics to. I just listened to it and gauged how much I was enjoying the experience. So don't expect some objective and backed up arguments about a song being good from an artistic perspective. That's not what I'm doing, I'm afraid. If there's some songs in here you've never heard before that are above the bottom like 30 or so songs, I'd recommend giving them a listen because, chances are I do like that song at least to some degree. And it'll help you gauge what I'm talking about. And you might even find yourself having a new favourite song. There's a pretty decent variety of genres across this list, so I'm hoping, there's at least one song for everyone. Now, to clarify, this is only using my liked songs playlist on Spotify, which only contains 697 songs. Unfortunately, I don't have means of tracking every song I've ever listened to, so what can you do about it, eh? Sorry if you disagree with me, libs, because I'm right. No, this is very subjective. You're gonna hate me. You're gonna hate some of these picks on this. I'm risking my life by putting this list out there because some of the picks on this list, ooh. There's always gonna be at least some degree to which I like the majority of these songs, except for a lot of the earlier songs in the list, which are only really there like for a bit, like as a joke, With that said, here's my ranking of all the songs in my like playlist on Spotify, which is as close as I can really get to every song I've ever heard, I suppose. Stop right there. I got one more note I want to give you. There's a lot of songs lower down on this list that I used to really like, and then I listened to them too much and ruined them for myself. So there's a lot of really good songs that I just ruined on my own part. Now there's a lot of songs lower down that I would just put there naturally, but to make this more easy viewing for you, but from an emotional point of view, if there's a song you really like that's really low down on the list, assume that it's one that I listen to too much, okay? Maybe only like a 5 to 10% chance that's true, but just assume it's the case to make it easier on yourself, yeah? So, coming in at number 697, Penis Music by Portamento. Yeah, every single one. Anyway, going on from there, in ascending order we have Arabic Nokia by Modern Made It, Mozart Drill Remix by Trap Music HDTV, Maniacs of Noise, I need to check the pronunciation of this one, there's going to be a few here, Maniacs of Noise by Abaya Jian, Wasserman by Karl-Heinz Stockhausen, Monkey Spinning Monkeys by Kevin MacLeod, Big Gay Balls by Cockaholics and Schwizzle, Objects That I've Shoved Up My Arse by Cockaholics, Cock and Ball Torture by Cockaholics, Margot and Andy by Cockaholics, Among Us Trap Remix, oh my god, Among Us Trap Remix by Leons, Walking to Class Theme by Dre, Dragon Ball Super Ultra Instinct Theme, Subway Surfers Main Theme, Shake Your Coconuts by Junior Senior, Trance Music for Racing Game by Bobby Cole, Yakety Sax by Boots Randolph, The SpongeBob Closing Theme, Spider-Man 2 Pizza Theme, Tomfoolery by David Snell, The Entertainer by Scott Joplin, Grandstand by Keith Mansfield, 12th Street Rag by Roy Clark, C'est Chaud by Jeremy Sherman, Boulangerie by Jeremy Sherman, Loon Boon by Laura Shigihara, The Unidentified Flying Object by Perry and Kingsley, Duper and Dupe by Dupe, Monkey Monday by MTSG, Music to Drive by Alan Moorhouse, Skipping Class by Birdies, Two Trucks by Lemon Demon, Breaking Bad Main Theme, Also Spratch Zarathustra by Deodato, Super Sophisticated by Gustavo the Dude, Square Dancing in Mississippi by Gustavo the Dude, Bewildered and Befuddled by Gustavo the Dude, Maple Leaf Rag by Scott Joplin. Leaders of Men by the Daniel Pemberton Orchestra. Love Song for a Dead Man piano version by Mr. Meeseeks Piano. Paris by Après la Classe. Lily the Pink by The Scaffold. I Won't Back Down by Tom Petty. Pipeline Funk by Armin Cooper. Baby Elephant Walk by Henry Mancini. Raindrops Keep Falling on My Head by BJ Thomas. Learn to Fly by Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. The Blue Raft by I Monster. Popcorn by Hot Butter. I think we're at the point where I like all these songs to at least some degree, and I could at any point see myself listening to them if I was in the mood, but there's still some down here that's like, that are pretty bad, you know. Or at least in my opinion. There's nothing really inherently bad, I suppose. Anywho, onwards with the list. All I Want to Do Is Play Cards by Core Blonde. Maestre Jonas by S.A. Rodriguez and Guarabira. El Sonidito by Hechiceros Band. Mellow Yellow by Donovan. Soul Bossa Nova by Quincy Jones. Mr. Bean Animated Series Intro Theme Song. Wallace and Gromit Theme Song. Now That We're Men from the SpongeBob movie. Richest Killer by MTSG, Maneater by Daryl Hall and John Oates, Pumping in Your Stereo by Supergrass, Jetpack Joyride main theme Half by Half Brick, You Don't Mess Around with Jim by Jim Croak, Ça Plane Pour Moi by Plastic Bertrand, Release the Beast by Breakwater, Me and Julio Down by the Schoolyard by Paul Simon, Dance Monkey by Tones and I, Spanish Flea by Herb Albert and the Tijuana Brass, Loop de Loop by SpongeBob SquarePants, Stairway to Heaven by Led Zeppelin, Little Green Bag by George Baker, Levotomat Jalat by Hassisian Kone, You'll Always Find Me in the Kitchen at Parties by Jonah Lewis, One World Dire Straits, Going Up the Country by Kitty Daisy and Lewis, Gilded Seven Casino from Professor Layton and the Lost Future, On the Road Again by Canned Heat, News of the World by The Jam, LA Woman by The Doors, Secret Agent Man by The Go-Getters, 10-5-38 Overture by ALO, Louie Louie by The Kingsmen, Know Your Product by The Saints, Alternative Ulster by Stiff Little Fingers, Can Can by Bad Manners, Drago Stay Dinte by Ozo, Gospel by March 4th Marching Band, My Sharona by The Knack, Boom Bada Doo Badaba by Power Solo, Cleaned Up the Town by The Busboys, Ghosts and Stuff by Dead Mal 5, I Wanna Rock by Twisted Sister. I think I'm gonna get killed for this. One spot above I Wanna Rock by Twisted Sister is Goofy Goober Rock by SpongeBob SquarePants, Zorba the Greek by John Murphy and David Hughes, Better Off Alone by Alice DJ, Hard Times by the Jetsons, These Boots Are Made for Walking by Nancy Sinatra, Light and Day by the Polyphonic Spree, Sharp Dressed Man by ZZ Top, Vem Danzar Kuduro by Lucenzo and Big Ali, Fa 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 by Data Rock, Soul Limbo by Booker T and the MGs, We're Not Gonna Take It by Twisted Sister, Happy Birthday Blues by BB King, La Gozadera by Gente de Thon and Mark Anthony, Time by Supergrass, Blue Dabba Dee by Eiffel 65, Disco Divertimento Duo by Daniel Pemberton, Love Me Do by the Beatles, Baba O'Reilly by The Who, Cats in the Cradle by Henry Chapin, Naive by The Cooks, Why Can't We Be Friends by Smash Mouth, Starlight by Muse, Laid by James, Smooth Operator by Sade, Run to the Hills by Iron Maiden, Trains to Brazil by Guillemots, Wishing Well by 3, She Drives Me Crazy by Crazy Young Cannibals, Two Princes by Spin Doctors, Mr. Maker by The Kooks, Army Dreamers by Kate Bush, Forbidden Voices by Martin Garrix, Nelly the Elephant by The Toy Dolls, Vindaloo by Fat Les, The Riverboat Song by Ocean Colour Scene, Paranoid by Black Sabbath, El Lado Oscuro by Jarabe de Palo, Rhythm is a Dancer by Snap, Piers Morgan by Unknown P, What a Beautiful Day by Levelers, Can I Kick It by A Tribe Called Quest, You're the Best by Joe Esposito, Song Away by Hockey, The Blues Are Still Blue by Bell and Sebastian, Over and Done With by The Proclaimers, Young at Heart by The Bluebells, You Really Got Me by The Kinks, Renee by Sales, Freaks by Surf Curse, Sugar Sugar by The Archies, Eye of the Tiger by Survivor, Here Comes the Sun by The Beatles, What Do I Get by The Buzzcocks, I'll Sail This Ship Alone by The Beautiful South, Immigrant Song by Led Zeppelin, How You Like Me Now by The Heavy, Cafe Colanda by Salsa Celtica, Give Me Some Lovin' by The Blues Brothers, Mother Mary by Foxborough Hot Tubs, Mr. Saxo Beat by Alexandra Stan, SOS by ABBA, Video Killed the Radio Star by The Buggles, The Safety Dance Extended Club Mix by Men Without Hats, California Dreaming by The Mamas and Papas, Mana Mana by Kate, Love Will Tear Us Apart Again by Joy Division, Moves Like Jagger, Maroon 5, In the Summertime by Mungo Jerry, Crash by Matt Willis, The Model by Kraftwerk, Rocket Man by Elton John, Light It Up by Major Lazer, Nyla and Fuse ODG, Talking Baseball by Terry Cashman, I Wanna Be Sedated by The Ramones, Come and Get Your Love by Redbone, Take the Skinheads Bowling by Camper Van Beethoven, I Still Believe by Frank Turner, Hold the Line by Toto, Escape by Rupert Holmes, Scarface by Paul Engeman, Wild Thing by The Trogs, Papa's Got a Brand New Pig Bag by Pig Bag, Edge of 17 by Stevie Nicks, Heat of the Moment by Asia, 1980F by After the Fire, Bizarre Love Triangle by New Order, Jump in the Line by Harry Belafonte, Mr. Brightside by The Killers, Do You Don't You by Haywire, Let Me Entertain You by Robbie Williams, Get It On by T-Rex, Rasputin by Boney M, Ami Manera by Gypsy Kings, Electric Feel by MGMT, Sweet Dreams by Eurythmics, Get Down On It by Kool and the Gang, Just Can't Get Enough by Depeche Mode, So Long and Thanks for All the Fish, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, Danger High Voltage by Electric Six, Dance Commander by Electric Six, Meow by Ivusum, Three Lines by Badiel, Skinner and the Lightning Seeds, Down Under by Men at Work, Blinding Lights by The Weeknd, Starman by David Bowie, Jealous by I Dress, Keep Yourself Alive by The Queen, oh my god, Keep Yourself Alive by Queen, Welcome to the Jungle by Guns N' Roses. It's Not Unusual by Tom Jones. Place Your Hands by Wreath. Sweet Caroline by Neil Diamond. Original Nutter by UK Apache and Shy FX. Amen Brother by the Winstons. Stuck in the Middle with You by Steelers Wheel. Better Call Saul intro theme. Ever Fallen in Love with Someone You Shouldn't Have by the Buzzcocks. Celebration by Kool and the Gang. Me and You by Nero. I Fought the Law by The Clash. Summer Holiday by Cliff Richard and the Shadows. Give It Up by Casey and the Sunshine Band. Give Up the Funk by Parliament. Overtime by Nowhere. Don't You Forget About Me by Simple Minds. Looking Out For You by Joy Again. Boogie Wonderland by Earth, Wind and Fire. Campus by Vampire Weekend. Right Behind You by Valve Studio Orchestra. Veil of Night from Professor Layton the Curious Village. Wake Me Up Before You Go Go by Wham. The Village Awakens from Professor Layton the Curious Village. Is This the Way to Amarillo by Tony Christie. Teenage Kicks by The Undertones. Canned Heat by Jamiroquai. Torn on the Platform by Jack Pignate. Le Fric by Chic. Something Stupid by Frank Sinatra and Nancy Sinatra. Blurred Lines by Robin Thicke. Sugar by Robin Schulz and Francesco Yates. Tiptoe Through the Tulips with Me by Tiny Tim. Rebel Rebel by David Bowie. Tainted Love by Soft Cell. Moanin' by Art Blakey. Never Gonna Give You Up by Rick Astley. Express Yourself by Charles Wright and the Watts 103rd Street Rhythm Band. Paint It Black by the Rolling Stones. Pick Up the Pieces by Average White Band. Peaches by the Stranglers. Best Day of My Life by American Authors. Camel by Sandy Martin. We Built This City by Starship. Take Me Home, Country Roads by John Dever. Sicko Mode by Travis Scott. Heart of Glass by Blondie. It's the End of the World as We Know It by R.E.M. Livin' La Vida Loca by Ricky Martin. You Can't Touch This by MC Hammer. The Spirit of Radio by Rush. September, Earth, Wind and Fire. All the Small Things, Blink 182. Living on a Prayer, Bon Jovi. Uptown Girl by Billy Joel. It's My Life by Bon Jovi. Clocks by Coldplay. Boulevard of Broken Dreams by Green Day. Blitzkrieg Bop by the Ramones. Harder, Better, Faster, Stronger by Daft Punk. Walls Come Tumbling Down by the Style Council. Moving to New York by the Wombats. Here Comes the Rain Again by Eurythmics. Danger Zone by Kenny Loggins. That's Entertainment by The Jam. Rocks by Primal Scream. Kids by MGMT. Dancing with Myself by Generation X. El Salvador by Athlete. It's worth noting that by this point, a few of these songs have actually managed to crack into my main go-to playlist, just goes to show how many songs I really quite enjoy. There's a lot of songs I've said here that I really like, and we're not even in the top 50% yet, so apologies if you like these songs and think they're a little too low. Anyway, let's continue. Je Voyage by Scaramouche and Chorale. The Chain by Fleetwood Mac. YMCA by Village People. Smoke on the Water by Deep Purple. Kashmir by Led Zeppelin. Once in a Lifetime by Talking Heads. Why Can't We Be Friends by War. Golden Brown by The Stranglers. Cupid's Dead by Extreme. The Troll Song? I don't know the official name for this song. I'm pretty sure it's not called The Troll Song, but all I could find on Spotify for it is The Troll Song. But I think the official name is something like I'm So Glad to Finally Be on My Way Back Home. I only saw that in a YouTube comment like 13 years ago. Let me look this up. Okay, so on my Spotify it's called The Troll Song, but to give the appropriate credit, this song should be called I'm So Happy to Finally Be Back Home by Edward Keel. Now that tangent's out of the way, back to business. The Snake by Al Wilson. Beat It by Michael Jackson. Drive My Car by the Beatles. Smooth Criminal by Michael Jackson. Lowrider by War. Stayin' Alive by the Bee Gees. Ho Hey by the Lumineers. Alloway Grove by Paolo Nutini. Last Request by Paolo Nutini. The Hounds of Love by the Futureheads. Rarotonga by Cafe Tacuba. Return of Django by the Upsetters. La Tintura by Alvaro Soler. Paper Planes by MIA. Jump by Van Halen. Should I Stay or Should I Go by The Clash. Nay Regrets by Martin Bennett. Tongue Tied by Group Love. You Get What You Give by New Radicals. Past the Duchy by Musical Youth. Hooked on a Feeling by Blue Swede. You and Me Song by The Wannadies. Walk This Way by Run DMC and Aerosmith. Take Me Out by Franz Ferdinand. Uptown Thunk by Mark Ronson. Blue Monday by New Order. Seven Nation Army by The White Stripes. Miserloo by Dick Dale and his Deltones. Suddenly I See by Katie Tunstall. Cheesecake by Louis Armstrong. Living in the Sunlight, Loving in the Moonlight by Tiny Tim. It's a Long Way to the Top If You Want to Rock and Roll by AC/DC. Woohoo by the 5678. Prayer in Sea by Lilywood and the Prick and Robin Schulz. Highway to Hell by AC/DC. Back in Black by AC/DC. Our Friends Electric by Tubeway Army. Dancing Drums Instrumental by Ananda Shankar. Flight 76 by Walter Murphy. A-Punk by Vampire Weekend. Clubfoot by Kasabian. Home by Edward Sharp and the Magnetic Zeros. A Fifth of Beethoven by Walter Murphy. Take On Me by AHHHHH. Overtaken from Apollo Justice, Ace Attorney. Supremacy by Muse. Knights of Sidonia by Muse. Pumped Up Kicks by Foster the People. Funky Town by Lips Inc. All Revved Up with No Place to Go by Meatloaf. Rock Lobster by the B-52s. Mac the Knife by Louis Armstrong. Shake, Rattle and Roll by Bill Haley and his Comets. Following Stanley by the Blake Robinson Synthetic Orchestra. Why Does It Always Rain on Me by Travis. Stand Up by The Prodigy. Right Back Where We Started From by Army Navy. I Don't Want to Set the World on Fire by the Ink Spots. Address Unknown by the Ink Spots. Cornering Together from Ace Attorney Spirit of Justice. Let's Dance by David Bowie. Lucia by Alvaro Soler. Mr. Sandman by the Chordettes. Snap Out of It by Arctic Monkeys. Sledgehammer by Peter Gabriel. I Bet You Look Good on the Dance Floor by Arctic Monkeys. Happy by Pharrell Williams. Town Called Malice by The Jam. Sweet Home Alabama by Leonard Skinner. Don't You Want Me by The Human League. Carry On Wayward Son by Kansas. Stand and Deliver by Adam and the Ants. Worth noting, We're just about in the top 50% now. I think that last song was the mark point. So these songs, top 50%, bottom like 40% there. If you exclude the first 10%, I did really like all those songs. And even then, there was some towards the end of the first. Maybe like bottom 5% are the only ones I actually don't really like. Okay, just to clarify again, really sorry if you disagree with me. He's the Greatest Dancer by Sister Sledge, Johnny Be Good by Chuck Berry, Monster by the Automatic, Don't Marry Her by The Beautiful South, Hate to Say I Told You So by The Hives, A Horse with No Name by America and George Martin, Don't Worry Be Happy by Bobby McFerrin, Tainted Love by Gloria Jones, Right Back Where We Started From by Maxine Nightingale, Sheep by The House Martins, Tamakoon by Rodrigo y Gabriela, And She Was by Talking Heads, So True by The Black Seeds, I Wanna Get Me a Gun by Bill Wyman, Loaded by Primal Scream, Zootin' Fever by The Zootin', Mrs. Robinson by The Lemonheads, Are You Bored Yet by Wallows and Claro, Are You Gonna Be My Girl by Jet, Sweet Child of Mine by Guns N' Roses, A Go-Go by Truby Trio, She Moves in Her Own Way by The Cooks, Same Jeans by The View, Limehouse Blues by Esquivel and his orchestra, Respect by Aretha Franklin, Get It Together by The Go Team, Fuck You by CeeLo Green. Sorry, I gotta look up another pronunciation here. I gotta go find the pronunciation of this word. A Mia Menina by The Bees, Enola Gay by Orchestral Maneuvers in the Dark, Underdog by Kasabian, Smells Like Teen Spirit by Nirvana, Children by Robert Miles, Keep Pressing On from Ace Attorney Jewel Destinies, Come On Eileen by Dexy's Midnight Runners, Proud Mary by Creedence Clearwater Revival, Rockin' All Over the World by Status Quo, Lucky by Daft Punk, Pharrell Williams and Nile Rodgers, I'm Gonna Be 500 Miles by The Proclaimers, Wake Up Boo by the Boo Radleys, Take 5 by the Dave Brubeck Quartet, Hypnotized by the Notorious B.I.G., Are You Gonna Go My Way by Lenny Kravitz, Mind Heist by Zach Hemsey, Budapest by George Ezra, It's a Long Way to Tipperary by John McCormack, Walking on Sunshine, Katrina and the Waves, Don't Stop Believin' by Journey, Riptide by Vance Joy, Rapper's Delight by the Sugar Hill Gang, Ring of Fire by Johnny Cash, The Boys Are Back in Town by Thin Lizzy. Crazy by Niles Barkley, Norgard by The Vaccines, Adolescent Sex by Japan, All Star by Smash Mouth, The Wanderer by Dion, Shout to the Top USA remix by The Style Council, Dark Red by Steve Lacy, You Can Call Me Al by Paul Simon, Send Me On My Way by Rusted Root, You're in Love with a Psycho by Kasabian, Dancing in the Moonlight by Toploader, I'm a Believer by The Monkees, The Only One I Know by The Charlatans, Feel It Still by Portugal the Man, Coffee in the Pot by Supergrass, The Slide by The Beautiful South, Hallowed Bimmelban by Night Train, Tub Thumpin' by Chumbawamba, Man-Sized Rooster by Supergrass, followed by I Will Survive by Gloria Gaynor, and then next up is Tunnel of Love by Dire Straits. Continuing on from there, we have Three Little Birds by Bob Marley and the Wailers, Space Age Love Song by A Flock of Seagulls, Don't Look Back into the Sun by The Libertines, Brown Eyed Girl by Van Morrison, American Idiot by Green Day, Big Iron by Marty Robbins, Walking on the Sun by Smash Mouth, 5 Years Time by Noah and the Whale, Scrawny by Wallows, Pleaser by Wallows, Song 2 by Blur, Our House by Madness, 9 to 5 by Dolly Parton, Living Thing by Electric Light Orchestra, Zombie by Jamie T, I Got You by Murder He Wrote and Am Jams, Baggy Trousers by Madness, In the Mood by Glenn Miller, Piano Man by Billy Joel, Mr. Blue Sky by Electric Light Orchestra, Generator by The Holloways, Turning Japanese by The Vapors, You Give a Little Love from Bugsy Malone by Paul Williams, Just the Two of Us by Grover Washington Jr. and Bill Withers, Uranium Fever by Elton Britt, Every Little Thing She Does Is Magic by The Police, Jump Around by House of Pain, There She Goes by The Lars, For the Love of Money by the OJs, Garden Party by Ricky Nielsen and the Stone Canyon Band. My grandpa loves doing that song for karaoke. That's where I first heard it. Seen It All by Jake Bugg, Jenny Don't Be Hasty by Paolo Nutini, Dream On by Aerosmith, Ant Music by Adam and the Ants, One Way or Another by Blondie, Step On by the Happy Mondays, Son of a Preacher Man by Dusty Springfield, Somebody Stole My Thunder by Georgia Fame, Magia by Alvaro Soler, Rhythm Doesn't Make You a Dancer by John Fratelli, Maniac by Michael Cimbello, House of the Rising Sun by the Animals, Common People by Pulp, No One Knows by Queens of the Stone Age, Redbone by Childish Gambino, Virtual Insanity by Jamiroquai, Chinese New Year by Sales, Hey Ya by Outkast, Island Song by Adventure Time, You Make My Dreams Come True by Daryl Hall and John Oates, Going Up the Country by Canned Heat, We Are the Champions by Queen, Kathleen by Catfish and the Bottlemen, Big Yellow Taxi by Joni Mitchell, The Joker by Fatboy Slim, Flowers on the Wall by the Statler Brothers, Tiger Feet by Mud, Dreaming of You by The Chorale, Psycho Killer by Talking Heads, Loser by Beck, Fortunate Son by Creedence Clearwater Revival, Summer of '69 by Bryan Adams, Your Father and I by The Beautiful South, 99 Luftballons by Nina. For some reason, I went through my playlist and they seem to have turned the English version of this song, 99 Red Balloons, into the German version. So I can't find the English version anymore on Spotify, but if I were to rank it, the German version would be higher up in the list, just to clarify. So forget about the English version anyway. United States of Whatever by Liam Lynch, Jerk It Out by Caesars, Footloose by Kenny Loggins, Karma Chameleon by The Culture Club, Boys Will Be Boys by The Ordinary Boys, Little Talks by Of Monsters and Men, The Rockefeller Skank by Fatboy Slim, Dancing with Tears in My Eyes by Ultravox, Down to the Waterline by Dire Straits, Smokey Joe's Cafe by Paolo Nutini, All Right by Supergrass, I Get Around by the Beach Boys, Lying Coldly from Ace Attorney Investigations, Sit Down by James, Pursuit a Great Turnabout from The Great Ace Attorney, Brimful of Asher and Norman Cook Remix by Corner Shop and Norman Cook, Fit But You Know It by The Streets, Hey St. Peter by Flash in the Pan, Volar by Alvaro Soler, Ocean Man by Ween, Mississippi Queen by Mountain, House of Fun by Madness, Gangsta's Paradise by Coolio, Black Betty by Ram Jam, Wouldn't It Be Nice by The Beach Boys, Closer Than Most by The Beautiful South, Breathe by The Prodigy, Surfing Bird by The Trashmen, Surfing Bird by The Ramones, Country House by Blur, Lightning Bolt by Jake Bugg, Who's Gonna Tell by The Beautiful South, Right Here Right Now by Fatboy Slim, What a Wonderful World by Louis Armstrong, Ventura Highway by America and George Martin, Dawn Chorus by Tom York, Flathead by The Fratellis, La Libertad by Alvaro Soler, Life's Incredible Again by Michael Giacchino, Riders on the Storm by The Doors, The Winner Takes All by ABBA, Left Bank 2 by The Noveltones. Oh, we got another tough one to pronounce here. Let me go find a pronunciation for this word really quickly. Okay. You're telling me that's how you pronounce it, so I'm hoping this is right. Okay. Mahala Jeska, Chantel Dub by Chantel and Mahala Raibandi. Watch Your Step by Bobby Parker. Rio by Duran Duran. How Long's a Tear Take to Dry by The Beautiful South. Lovely Day by Bill Withers. El Mismo Sol by Alvaro Soler and Jennifer Lopez. Hungry Like the Wolf by Duran Duran. How Bizarre by OMC. Turn It Around by The Black Seeds. Saturday Night's All Right for Fighting by Elton John. Add a Touch by Daryl Hall and John Oates. Everybody Wants to Rule the World by Tears for Fears. Pompeii by Bastille. Scooby Snacks by Fun Loving Criminals. Crash by The Primitives. I Got You, I Feel Good by James Brown. The Power of Love by Huey Lewis and the News. The Fun Loving Criminal by The Fun Loving Criminals. My Patch by Jim Noir. Praise You by Fatboy Slim. The Underdog by Spoon. Happy Hour by The House Martins. Seguir Siendo by Cafe Tacuba. Chaise Long by Wet Leg. I'm Still Standing by Elton John. Little Dark Age by MGMT. Goodnight Vienna by Ringo Starr. Have a Nice Day by Stereophonics. In the Morning by The Chorale. Oh my goodness. Okay, let me lock in. Sunday by The Strokes, Can't Stop by the Red Hot Chili Peppers, Sweet Talk by Saint Motel, Lullaby of the Leaves by George Olsen, Brazil by Jeff and Maria Muldaur, Ballroom Blitz by Sweet, Higher Ground by Red Hot Chili Peppers, Holding Out for a Hero by Bonnie Tyler, The Sound of the Suburbs by The Members, Come As You Are by Nirvana, A Message to You Rudy by The Specials, The Logical Song by Supertramp, The Day We Caught the Train by Ocean Colour Scene, Talking in Your Sleep by The Romantics, Sly by The Cat Empire, Free From Desire by Gala, America by Razorlight, Ruby by Kaiser Chiefs, Lola's Theme by The Shapeshifters, Simple Things by Paolo Nutini, Pink Shoelaces by The Chordettes, Young Folks by Peter Bjorn and John, Bills by Lunch Money Lewis, El Outsider by Cafe Tacuba, Fire by Kasabian, Don't Stop Me Now by Queen, Chelsea Dagger by The Fratellis, If You Wanna by The Vaccines, Under Pressure by Queen and David Bowie, Viva La Vida by Coldplay, Yi Jin Mei by Fei Yu Qing, Sympathy for the Devil by The Rolling Stones, Samba de Janeiro by Bellini, LSF by Kasabian, Werewolves of London by Warden Zevon, The Freeze by Spandau Ballet, Firestarter by The Prodigy, Henrietta by The Fratellis, To Cut a Long Story Short by Spandau Ballet, Never Miss a Beat by Kaiser Chiefs, Girls and Boys by Blur. And guys, coming in at the number 100 spot is First of the Gang to Die by Morrissey. We're in the top 100. Oh my god. Almost there. The Game is Afoot from The Great Ace Attorney 2. Vaquero Galactico by Porter. Free Bird by Leonard Skinner. Make Your Own Kind of Music by Cass Elliot. Pass It On by The Chorale. Always Look on the Bright Side of Life from Monty Python. So Far Away by Dire Straits. Breakfast in America by Supertramp. Gold by Spandau Ballet. The Table by Beautiful South. Gino by Dexy's Midnight Runners. No Hope by The Vaccines, Happy Together by The Turtles, This Too Shall Pass by OK Go, Vamonos by Cafe Tacuba, Hidden Jukebox by The Beautiful South, Have You Ever Seen the Rain by Creedence Clearwater Revival, Coming Up Easy by Paolo Nutini, My Way by Frank Sinatra, Una Mañana by Cafe Tacuba, Going Underground by The Jam, La Mer by Charles Trenet, Sofia by Alvaro Soler, Atlas by Battles, Bailare Sobre Tu Tumba by Siniestro Total, Weapon of Choice by Fatboy Slim, Nightboat to Cairo by Madness, Cornman by Kinky, Speak Like a Child by The Style Council, 24 Horas by Cafe Tacuba, Big in Japan by Alphaville, I Ran So Far Away by A Flock of Seagulls, 36D by The Beautiful South, What You Won't Do for Love by Bobby Caldwell, Sultans of Swing by Dire Straits, One Step Beyond by Madness, High Hopes by Paolo Nutini, Sonrio by Alvaro Soler, Peanut Butter Jelly by Galantis, Como Te Extraño Mi Amor by Cafe Tacuba, Heartaches by Al Bowley, Early Morning Wake Up Call by Flash in the Pan, Las Flores by Cafe Tacuba, Break My Stride by Matthew Wilder, Rotterdam or Anywhere by The Beautiful South. There's some artists that are coming up quite frequently, you might notice in this lower part of the ranking. You may be able to, guess who my favourite bands are and whatnot. But anyway, Quiero Ver by Café Tacuba. Tengo Todo by Café Tacuba. One by One by the Black Seeds. Baby Blue by Badfinger. Top 50. These are my top 50 songs that I know right now, okay? So these are the big ones. These are the huge ones, the massive ones, right? Walk of Life by Dire Straits, Ace of Spades by Motorhead, Grace Kelly by Mika, For Eine Handvoll Gras by Fuzzman and the Singing Rebels, Hip to be Square by Huey Lewis and the News, The Lure of the Sea by The Beautiful South, Teenage Icon by The Vaccines, Feels Like Summer by Tim Wheeler, We Are Each Other by The Beautiful South, Neue Szene von meinem Bruder und mich by Superpunk, The Great Pursuit, The Resolve of Narodo Rinosuke from The Great Ace Attorney 2, Pictures of Matchstick Men by Status Quo, Bittersweet Symphony by The Verve, You Keep It All In by Beautiful South, No Hay Nadie Como Tu by Calle 13 and Café Tacuba, Bat Out of Hell by Meatloaf, Computer Games by Mesex, Groenlandia by The Zombies, Old Blackpool by The Beautiful South, New Shoes by Paolo Nutini, The Angry Mob by The Kaiser Chiefs, Oh My God by The Kaiser Chiefs, We'll Deal With You Later by The Beautiful South, The Shepherd's Boy by Muddy Gold, Ghosts by Ladytron, the top 25, coming up right now, starting with Daydream Believer by The Monkees, I Predict a Riot by Kaiser Chiefs, What Are You Waiting For by My Little Cheap Dictaphone, Handbags and Gladags by Stereophonics, Sleepyhead by Passion Pit, One Day Like This by Elbow, The Orb of Dreamers by the Daniel Pemberton Orchestra, Money for Nothing by Dire Straits, El Metro by Café Tacuba, L'Ingrata by Café Tacuba, The Passenger by Iggy Pop, 10 out of 10 by Paolo Nutini, Love Is by The Beautiful South, Perfect 10 by The Beautiful South, The Bug by Dire Straits. And so now it's the top 10. These songs right now are, I believe the term the youths use nowadays is peak. I think that's the term. That's what I would call these next 10 songs. To be fair, it's what I would have called the last about 300 songs, but these ones in particular are immense for me. Number 10, Good as Gold, Stupid as Mud by The Beautiful South. Number 9, My Book by The Beautiful South. Number 8, Park Life by Blur. Number 7, Volver a Comenzar by Café Tacuba. Number 6, Pencil Full of Lead by Paolo Nutini. Number 5, Old Red Eyes Is Back by The Beautiful South. Number 4, my highest ranked Paolo Nutini song, Candy by Paolo Nutini. Number 3, From Under the Covers by The Beautiful South. Number 2, there was a lot of Beautiful South in this ranking, but they're not taking the number 1 spot because their highest ranked song is right here at number 2. Number 2, Liar's Bar by The Beautiful South. And number 1, at this moment in time, my favourite song ever, Lust for Life by Iggy Pop. Well, that was exhausting. I'm gonna go do something else, like rank every video game ever. How's that sound? I've already started working on it, so expect that soon, guys. Hope I didn't hurt your feelings too bad. You know, take that, liberal. Well, I fucking did myself. Yeah, that's my ranking of songs. That could so easily change. It's probably different right now. The like middle, like 90 to 95% of it could all be like, you know, shuffled around. But maybe you've heard some song in there that you thought sounded interesting and you've listened to it and said, wow, that's interesting. Or maybe you've heard a song and you're like, wow, this guy's music taste sucks. This guy's music taste is ass. You can let me know what you think. I'm curious. Thanks for watching. Make sure to ask YouTube to get this in the algorithm circulation, because this took a really long time. Thanks.